Hi, so I'm Miss Catherine. I'm the curriculum coordinator here at Chapel. For me, one of the most important things about being your best self as a human being is to accept that you can only control and change how you feel and what you do. You cannot control anybody else. You're only in charge of yourself. I learned this the hard way my second year teaching when I had a particularly challenging group of students, and my boss told me that if I didn't figure out how to work with my students better, I was going to lose my job. And so I spent the summer traveling with my family, complaining about my students, and one day my oldest brother, who I respect a lot, said to me, you know, you're going to have to figure out how to work with these students again. So how do you intend to do that if you're going to blame them all the time? And I spent the next couple of weeks really thinking about that and realizing that if I changed my own behavior, I might be able to help influence the students to believe that I was a different person. And so I went to school the following year. I acted differently, I made different choices, and I noticed that over time, slowly, my students' behavior towards me and their behavior towards each other was much better. And now I use that as a practice not only with working with students, but also working with teachers. I want to have a better relationship with teachers and increase the chance that they might become better teachers, then I have to change the way I interact with them and support them. So, I don't know, from my life experience, that's what I've learned. I hope it's helpful.
The act that I find myself most into is that it's okay to make mistakes, because I know that that every human is not perfect, because we are supposed to make errors and learn from them. And every time I make an error, like in soccer, I have to think that many other soccer players they also they don't score goals like all the time, and they keep trying hard and hard, and that's my goal, and that's keep trying hard and making mistakes so I can learn to do the good things.
Hi, 10th graders. Hi, it's Miju. I chose the topic everyone doesn't have to like us, and I think this is very important because sometimes we want to please lots of people, and sometimes it doesn't happen. The most important thing is treat people with respect, but you don't have to like people all the time. Sometimes we do, sometimes we not, and that's okay. I know that some people doesn't like me, but they treat me with respect, and it's okay. Bye.
We are capable and can change really speaks to me, because I think it's something that everyone should hold on to and everyone should live by, because it allows us to become better and it allows us to grow from our mistakes and from our experiences, and I think it's a really important part of life.
Another thing that's important to act human is to always try and do your best. One time I was playing soccer and I wasn't necessarily the best player, and I kept on trying even though I wasn't good, and through trying you can learn new things and even become better at what you're trying to do. So never give up.
According to our morality book, there are 8 advices on how to act human. Which advice makes more sense and is more relatable to you?
Okay, so in my opinion, and I personally believe that it's okay to make mistakes, you know? Because it's a part of life. We're human and no one is perfect. Just like Hannah Montana's song says. And, you know, yeah. If you make a mistake, don't get down on it. Just use it as, you know, just a lesson. So I remember the time when I made a mistake. And, you know, the way I dealt with it wasn't very well. And I think, you know, I could have done better. But, you know, I got over it over time. And, you know, yeah.
Mistake. What mistake?
Okay, so one of the things I most relate to in this book is that it's important to try, because I've been in past experiences where I kept trying and I never achieved what I wanted, but then I realized that at some point it will happen. So I had a very bad grade in math the whole year, but I never stopped trying. So I went to math lab, I took retakes, and then at some point finally I got up to a B, and that was very good, and I got very happy, so that's my experience. One of the advices that I can relate the most in the book is it is important to try, because last year I had an F in science and I couldn't get into cheer, so I kept trying and I went up to my teachers after school and I retook a lot of tests that I had not done very well, and then I raised my grade.
Woo! It's okay to make mistakes, just part of the human nature. Of course, some people tend to commit more errors than others, but that just varies between person to person. And a personal example that I have is when I used to study at Chapel, I committed countless mistakes that would drive teachers, principal, superintendent, the guidance counselor in particular nuts. But the important thing is that I learned from my mistakes and consequently graduated with all 3 diplomas. So basically the key thing here is to learn from your mistakes, and after that everything will just sort out just fine.
So in my opinion, I think it's really important to try, because in life we'll always be faced with tough situations. But instead of avoiding it, we should just face it, because the best things may take more time and effort and we'll never know if we don't try. And I also think that trying opens new doors and opportunities, and I think that you really grow as a person. And like, for example, if everyone played safe until now, we would never have achieved the same things we have achieved. And the personal connection is, I remember when I used to horseback ride, and on my first day I was really afraid of even going on top of the horse. But then like each day I tried and I tried my best to learn, and I tried not to be afraid. And eventually, some months later, I wasn't afraid anymore and I could jump and stuff. And I think it's really important to try.